Ovince St. Preux versus Jamahal. We got minus 165 on the up and comer Jamahal and plus 145 on the vet OSP. Let's start off with OSP and let's start off with the cash that I got last time around when he went out there and knocked out Alonzo Menafield 4 minutes into that second round. Beautiful performance by him in terms of staying away from the power shots of the devastator Alonzo Menafield, who just likes to go out there and just knock people's heads off. And a lot of people were in agreement that OSP still has a suspect chin, and Menafield will be able to, will be prime in terms of fighting that chin and putting him out. He was a plus 120 dog. I believe that's roughly around the price that I got him at, and I was more than happy to hit that bet. He did a good job of using his kicks to maintain the distance and slowly suck away the cardio of Alonzo Menafield as he continued to throw at air. And then eventually he started getting his punches into the game. As soon as Alonzo's punches started to, kind of decline in the power, and we saw Menafield, really start to suck wind. There was a moment in time where we saw OSP land 15 to 16 consecutive strikes without Alonzo Menafield even attempting one. We saw OSP on his back foot for pretty much the entire fight, but he did a really good job from fighting from that stance as he's knocked out a bunch of guys kind of moving backwards. Alonzo Menafield and even Shogun Hua, if you guys remember that one from several years ago. So I like what we see from OSP, but I do think that his age is going to start catching up to him. He's 37 years old, which is crazy. But he has fought for a title in the past. He's made it to the pinnacle of the sport, but he's slowly starting to fade away. And he's doing a good job of kind of, weeding out the prospects that are on the up and up. Alonzo Menafield obviously being one of them, and now Jamahal is somebody that he's looking to turn away as well. So you guys if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that I haven't really been the biggest Jamahal fan. I believe I've faded him in both of his last two fights, as I just wasn't the biggest fan of, his chin high in the air type of style, kind of throwing a little bit wild at times, but I gotta say the kid is slowly starting to win me over, and I feel like this is almost a nightmare matchup for OSP, because this is a completely different style than what he saw against Alonzo Menafield. We know Menafield, he likes to land that big strike. He mainly does the majority of his damage with his hands, with his hooks, with his overhand right, whereas Jamahal is a little bit more diverse and has a lot more variety with the type of strikes that he likes to throw, from knees to kicks to, similar kicks to what OSP throws. And he's a big dude himself too. 6'4", 79-inch reach, and we know that OSP is 6'3" with the 80-inch reach. Wow, he's actually an inch taller than OSP as well too, so that should definitely play into this fight. I think when OSP is the one kind of being hunted by a fighter that is able to throw a variety of strikes the way that Jamahal is, I think it kind of starts to break him, and that cardio really starts to fuck with him. And I think that's what we're going to see here with Jamahal, as he'll probably be the one with the moving forward, landing the big shots, landing the variety of shots too. My concern here is if this fight does end up getting to the ground. I feel like OSP will have a slight advantage there, but I'm not 100% sure where Jamahal truly is with his jiu-jitsu and where his ground game is at. I feel like he's improving on a fight-to-fight basis, and he's still quite young. He's 29 years old, at least young in his fight years. He's only 8-0. He's had 8 fights. He turned pro in 2017, and within 3 years, just over 3 years, he's managed to accrue an 8-0 record, which is very, very impressive. He has a ton of finishes, or a handful of finishes on his record too, but I feel like his style of, kind of attacking the way that he does, will definitely help him out in this fight against OSP. Again, I feel like his chin-up style is still going to be a bit of concern. And again, OSP does very well in terms of fighting off of his back foot. So Hill's going to have to be very, very tuned in and making sure that he kind of sees the counters that are coming his way from OSP. I think if he's able to, start out on the front foot and really start pushing the pace, not really pushing the pace, but at least pushing the fight to OSP from the get-go, he should be able to start accumulating enough damage to really get OSP to start sucking some wind and, really taking the pop off of his shots too. I hope that we see he'll manage to keep this fight on the feet, as I feel like that's where he'll be strongest. And I could absolutely see he'll absolutely get a finish here over OSP as well. I think he can hurt him to the body, just as he did Klitz and Abreu. The kid's growing on me. and I never thought I'd really say that, but he's showing time and time again that he can show up. He can avoid the big strikes of his opponents. He can get away with having his chin up in the air. But him slightly being bigger than OSP here brings a very interesting aspect, as OSP is normally the bigger guy going into his fights. I think the last fight he was a smaller guy was the Ben Rothwell fight, and we saw him lose that via split decision. Dominic Reyes, I believe, is bigger than him, and he lost that fight. Yeah, not often do you see him going out there and beating guys bigger than him. So that's something to keep in mind here. So yeah, I do like Jamahal Hill. I think he gets it done probably first or second round. I could see him definitely putting it on OSP and getting that dub. And I don't mind him at that minus 165 range. I think the line is slowly getting better on him too. Yeah, it is getting better on him. He opened at minus 195. Now we're seeing some love come back on OSP, and I think this might be the spot to jump off the OSP train. It was great casting on him against Alonzo Benefield, was a little bit more of a one-dimensional striker, whereas Jamahal Hill is going to bring a lot more to the game that could potentially stunt the return or the resurgence of OSP. So I'm going with Jamahal Hill. I think he gets it done first or second round. I'm starting to like this kid. He's winning me over. So congrats, Jamahal Hill. You've won a fan over your last couple performances. So hopefully he can go out there, get the job done against this vet, and add a very, very good name to his record. So this should definitely really help him in his career, the trajectory of his career, and possibly put him in that top 10 discussion of the light heavyweight realm. So once again, I'll go with Jamahal Hill to win this fight via first or second round KO.